Hello friends, welcome back to another edition of We Can Grow Mondays. I'm back here at the Greenside in Santon in our fantastic veggie garden. I'm here with our great friend, Farmer Cliff. So Farmer Cliff, what are we going to be doing today?
Myron, welcome back. Great to have everyone back in the garden. Today we're going to have a look at the overall picture of what your garden looks like. We're going to decide what needs to be taken out, what things we can harvest, and just get a general overview of what's happening.
Nice. You might have seen some of these beautiful images we've been posting on our Instagram. And just Cliff, I just want to say thank you so much for this amazing passion, because your passion is coming out right over here. Just check it out.
Beautiful.
We loving it, and so are the bees.
Yeah, there we go. So, Myron, like a lot of gardens that we see, we find that one of the things that happens is mildew. So you can see a good example on these squash plants over here of mildew.
Right.
So when this happens, you know that it's time for this plant to finish up. We'll take off whatever we can find.
Oh, wow, check that out.
Wow.
Nice. Is that a squash?
Yes.
Lovely. Check it out, everyone. It's even got some cool patterns on it. Nice.
Myron?
So, Cliff, is this a living organism, this mildew?
So this is a fungal disease that attacks your plant, especially when the plant has already gone past its prime. You can see there are leaves over here that don't have it on. So you wonder, there's an example, there's little whites, but that's not mildew, that's part of the
And this is powdery mildew.
This is powdery mildew. So if I pop this off, you'll actually see. Right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to remove the whole plant. Oh, here's another squash.
Oh, rock and roll. So one plant giving one white squash.
Oh, there's two plants over here.
Two plants, and so each plant's giving us a little different variety.
Through your bed, you'll see the number of things that we can pull out and that are ready to be harvested. Here's a wonderful example of the watermelon radish.
Crazy, that's a radish.
That's a radish. So it's obviously grown quite large. You could have eaten it at any stage before. And they call it a watermelon radish because you slice it.
Amazing. And can I taste that?
Sure. Oops. Let me get you another one there.
Thank you.
Manageable. When it does get overgrown, you know, you need to sort through it. You need to be a little bit harsh. You've got to pull out all the things that are either dead or dying, and you've got to be a little bit ruthless also and pull out things that you would otherwise normally want to have in your garden. Like that watermelon radish, it was perfectly timed that we pulled it out today. Leave it any longer, it would lose its taste and flavor.
Fun with these tomatoes, I must say. I mean, the black tomatoes, the bell tomatoes, so we've really had a great time. And as you said to us before, if you eat them together, you grow them together.
Correct.
These are just so tasty. There's nothing better than just coming to the garden and literally like making a little garden sandwich. Take a little tomato, take a little basil like that, and literally who needs like to be fancy? You can have little basil sandwiches like that. Check it out. Little basil sandwich, basil tomato sandwich. So we've been very busy throwing around the compost, and you were just telling me about the country and how it works. So can we just maybe tell our friends all about that?
Sure. So comfrey is one of the plants that we grow, that we use in our compost. So while we're pulling out all the stuff for our compost, everything that we pull out breaks down and gets made back into good soil. This helps it. Comfrey is a facilitator in the compost. So you just take bunches like that, throw it in your pile, and when it all goes into your compost, that'll help break the whole compost down.
We're basically growing comfrey so that the comfrey can work with our waste and help turn our compost into the right, I guess, plant food, and that comes back into the garden. So it's really this full circle. How awesome.
And that's another plant that we use for the exact same reason in our compost. This is Yarrow.
Oh, this is a yarrow, right?
This is the Yarrow. Wonderful flowers in winter, and it's gone all the way through summer. So now we'll just use that also again in the compost. Lovely. This is the end of this bean plant over here. So we'll take out the beans. The beans are nitrogen fixers, so when we pull it out, we usually either chop it and let the roots break down in there, but when we pull it out, we make sure that any of the nitrogen fixated pods that would grow on the roots would be left in the soil. So we'll make sure that the nitrogen is still there. So
you said this is some delicious oregano we had that was hidden over there, right?
Yeah, now we pulled that out. So we've got some oregano, oregano as you say. You can keep that, you could dry that. Oh, it's already started to flower. Okay, so that has changed its thing. So we'll just leave that to flower. What a pretty flower.
So the minute it starts
Look at
flowering,
that pretty flower.
The minute it starts flowering, it's done basically, right?
Well, it's not done. No.
You're not eating it.
Well, no, you could let it flower and go to seed.
Okay.
All right, then it'll self-seed and it'll keep growing in your areas, which is very nice.
But you're not,
I'm going to leave this to flower over here.
Okay, beautiful.
But this one you can take inside and let that dry. That's a lovely flower.
Beautiful. We'll add that to. We're going to show you guys once we finish this little video. We're going to show you all the produce we're putting out.
There's one that's still green, but those are dried.
Right.
So it's a good time of year to start pulling your beans out and seed saving.
So are these now? Are these seeds to grow more beans?
Correct.
Or these to be eaten?
No, this is for your next season.
For
Of
the
course,
next
you can eat them as a hard bean,
Right.
but these seeds made these lovely green beans that we
Right.
enjoyed through the season.
Okay, great.
So we keep this till September and we start planting again. They've gone through their cycle. They made flowers. We didn't eat them. Now they've dried out. We might as well keep them.
And we'll use this for next season.
Next season, exactly.
Lovely.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying these are bush beans.
Right.
The other beans that grow up are climbing beans.
Okay, that's back in the beanstalk.
Correct. And then
Right.
we'd leave to grow up maybe sunflowers or
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
But here's a nice bean over here. And the more you pick with these, you'll get another flush of flowers. So you might even get another whole bunch of another flush of beans.
Right. Onion.
Onions. So onions you could basically pull out at any stage and eat the tops, the scapes. This is a Lisbon onion, so it comes out very nicely like that, and you just use what you want to use. You can use the tops as well in soups. Because okay, and then it's going to make a flower. It's going to open and the bees are going to come and then they're going to pollinate that, and then that's how you can save seed. But we're not going to do that because it's not here for that.
Okay.
A lot of this was being thrown out next to it. So we don't like to throw, this is spinach. We don't want to put it here because it takes a process to break this down to this. And that process is done in the compost.
So we need all the enzymes and all that good
all
stuff.
that stuff in there.
It's not happening over here.
If it's not, we don't want it to happen, because what actually will happen, it'll suck out of the soil to break this down. We'll be sucking nitrogen to break this down rather than feeding nitrogen.
It's quite interesting. We're here with the bees, they're doing their thing, we're doing their thing, and no one's bothering each other.
No, we allow them the space. We're not.
They allow us our space.
They're very busy. They're very busy. They've got a lot to do today.
Busy being bees.
Busy bee. That's where it comes from. Thanks. That'll go into the compost. The Artemisia has trapped here,
Lovely.
but it's also become a nursery. There's a little pupa of a ladybird.
Right.
And there's a little one over there.
So let's just summarize this for you, friends. This is a plant. It's Artemisia or wormwood or mkhoniane, and it's you can make lots of medicines out of it. But the reason why we have it here, it's trapping these little aphids. So if you come down and you have a squid, you'll see these little black hawks cruising around. Come have a look here. You can see there's tons of them. And if they weren't on here chowing happily, they'll be all over our plants.
Your plants.
Yeah.
We don't have to spray. No one's been spraying your stuff
Yeah,
because of this plant.
this plant is topping
One
one
plant.
plant amazing. I mean, really, you know, it's not complicated.
It's not complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
It's
farmer.
really, yeah.
Plant a couple of us.
Yeah, exactly. Stop spraying so much and to put these periodically through. It's not complicated. Radical. Look at this, friends. This is what we call an eggplant, and now you understand why it's called an eggplant. So, Cliff, I mean, what's so radical is we know eggplants as these black things called brinjals, but you know, eggplant will actually be in the shape of an egg, and it's white, and that's how it's got its name, eggplant.
This is a tomato we've grown. It's kind of a small one, but it's quite amazing. It's a peach tomato. It's got a slightly furry skin. Taste that.
Wow. So much for joining us for another We Can Grow Mondays with Myron and Farmer Cliff. And we're really excited to share all this amazing stuff. I hope you like our umbrella. The umbrella has been just basically covering all our cool stuff over here. Check this out. Just tell us a little bit about this quickly on the way out. Or we finished with that, so we can't tell you about it. But basically it is a sunflower. You can see the beautiful sunflowers behind there and down over there. And this is for seed, correct?
This is for smiles.
This is for smiles.